it sound check, champ?
Mic check.
Mic check, mic check. Everybody always says that. Good. Right, that's good. Rob Tebbutt for Boxing News, delighted to be joined by the WBA featherweight champion of the world, Ray Savage. For Ray, first and foremost, does it feel good hearing that announcement, the WBA featherweight champion of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. My dream came true, and I've been called champ before, growing up and things like that. But to actually be a world champion, it feels a lot better.
Before we talk about June the 1st, let's go back and relive that moment against Otabek Kholmatov. You mentioned there about people calling you champ when you're a kid. When you envision winning a world title, from my perspective, it can't really have gone much better than it went. That is like your typical Rocky moment. Is that how you always imagined it?
No, I didn't. I expected, to win that fight easy and not have to, go through adversity and, get cut and things like that. But, it happened, and I showed who I really was, being in those moments.
Winning it like that, you mentioned like the adversity, being cut, being behind on the cards, rival promoter show, all of that stuff. Does that make it a bit sweeter? Does that make the victory just a little bit sweeter?
Yeah, it does. It made the world tune in. It's making a lot of people, put more respect on my name now. And it happened how it should have happened.
Now, one of the things that you said after the fight was, no more 126. Next fight's going to be 130. Obviously, now you're boxing Nick Ball at 126. What changed?
The money.
It's okay to say that. It's fine.
Yeah. So that's what changed.
I've just, Eddie Hearn has kind of a little bit of a tradition. I'm sure you're aware of the tradition about world champions who get a nice Rolex Sky Dweller. I haven't seen your Rolex that you've got on, so it must be being shipped over. Are you expecting a nice piece of jewelry from Eddie?
Nah, my manager keep saying stuff about it too, but I'm not expecting a Rolex. I get my own possibly, maybe one day, but I'm not focused on that.
Yeah, no, in all seriousness, what's it like for you to become the first Matchroom USA signing to go right from debut? I remember when you came out on the stage in New York all of those times ago with Nikita Ababi and the rest of the guys. You're the first one to become world champion. It must be a nice little feather in the cap.
Yeah, it feels great. It just goes to show that, I put in a lot of hard work. I've been facing the right competition. I feel like I've been tested very early in my career, and I'm only going to keep fighting the best. Like, that's what I want for myself. I want to keep proving that I'm the best and, fighting the best.
You mentioned that being tested earlier on in your career, and that's something that we spoke about when we've discussed your career so far. How pivotal do you think it was? Because you had a couple of close fights earlier on in your career, fights that could really have gone either way, but really stood you in good stead when things were hard in that world title fight.
Yeah, I just feel like those moments made me ready and, prepared me to get ready for a fight like that with Kholmatov. Like I said, it really showed who I was, when it came time for me to face adversity. And, I only want to, keep getting great experiences like that so, I can keep coming out on top when it's time for me to, shine.
Obviously, everybody gets tested in the gym, and I'm sure going into that fight, you'd have thought, if it gets tough, I know I can do it. But until you do it with the 8-ounce gloves, big fight like that, you don't really know. But knowing that you've been able to dog it out and walk down the puncher in the fight and stop him must give you so much more confidence moving forward.
Absolutely, the confidence is on a different level now. I know that I can take a punch with the small gloves and no headgear, and that was going up against a puncher, so. Now I just feel like it's nothing that I haven't experienced yet. It's probably just going to get a lot more scarier for these guys.
Now, American boxing at the minute is kind of flourishing. There's a lot of young talent coming through. So Abdullah Mason at the weekend, Kamel Moton, obviously it's slightly older, Shakur Stevenson, somebody I know that you know very well. How does it feel to be part of that? Of course, Jaron Ennis now signing with Matchroom Boxing as well. Great time to be a young American fighter.
Absolutely. I feel like we got the best fighters, in my opinion. A lot of great talent. I grew up with a lot of these guys, and it's just great to see it's all, having a dream, believing in our dreams, and, chasing it and, achieving what we wanted to achieve.
So you're boxing Nick Ball. I'm sure you watched the Ray Vargas fight. How did you see that fight? Did you think that was a draw a fair result for you? How did you see it?
Yeah, I could say it was a fair result. I think Ray Vargas banked a lot of the early rounds. And Nick Ball came on strong at the end. It might have been too late, but it was a good fight. I didn't think one person was dominating the fight. I just think Nick Ball had bigger moments, and that's where a lot of people is getting confused on whether if it was a robbery or not. So yeah.
What do you make of Nick Ball as a fighter? He's not really kind of. We have like our like our traditional British fighters. He's not quite that. He doesn't really box like a British fighter. What do you make of him?
I think Nick Ball fights the way he has to fight. He has no other choice but to be aggressive, and to come in. He's 5'2". He got short arms, so him being a boxer trying to box somebody on the outside is just it doesn't make sense. So fighting a guy that small, you can only expect for him to be aggressive.
Obviously, we saw, as I mentioned in the Kholmatov fight, you did it a variety of ways. You were boxing on the outside, you were pushing him back. What do you think, obviously without giving the game plan away, what do you think is the best way forward for Nick Ball?
Whatever he brings out of me. My last fight, people didn't really see me walk a guy down like that, especially a puncher. So that's because he made me. I had to do that. I had to make adjustments. So I'm a person who can adjust to any style, and it depends on what Nick Ball brings out of me.
Okay, and just final one from me. Prediction, June the 1st, how does it end? Ray Ford versus Nick Ball?
It ends by me, with my hands up and still, and I believe I can get the stoppage, but I'm gonna beat him up before I get the stoppage.
Okay, well, Ray Ford, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing News. Congratulations again on a brilliant world title win. I think a lot of people win world titles in a lot of ways. Don't think many people win it quite as well as you did, so congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.